Hey everyone, it's Tim with Ghost Towns, Washington, and today we are out looking at another mine powerhouse dating to around 1905. And this powerhouse was associated with a large gold mine in the area we're in. So the first thing we're going to show you, as I pan over here, is part of the penstock that provided water to the powerhouse. And you can see what's really cool is there's some wood parts of this left, which again is generally rare, but it's kind of sheltered here under the forest, so probably helped it survive. And then it connects into this steel section. And then going back up the hill, you can see what remains of the wire here that would have helped hold the penstock together. So we're going to be making our way down, find the best route to get down to this thing. The cool thing about this powerhouse is all the equipment's still here. So it's going to be a really cool experience to be able to share this with you and show you some awesome pieces of mining history. So we're going to go ahead and start making our way down the hill here, and we'll see you when we get to the bottom. So we made our way down the steep grade to where the powerhouse is located. I'm going to pan across here and give you a shot here looking down on it. You can see a Pelton wheel, and right center screen kind of below there is the dynamo. So the first thing we're going to take a look at this site is the Pelton wheel, also known as a Pelton turbine. Pelton wheel is an impulse type of water turbine that was developed by an American inventor named Lester Allen Pelton around 1870. And unlike traditional overshot wheels that rely on weight of falling water, the Pelton wheel harnesses the kinetic energy or impulse, fast-moving water. And there were earlier impulse turbines that existed, but they were way less efficient, as water often exited the wheels at high speed, wasting a lot of the energy. So Pelton's innovation was in the shape of the turbine's paddles here, or cups. You can see the buckets here, which were engineered so that when the wheel rim rotated at half the speed of the water jet, the water would exit the wheel with minimum velocity. And this allowed nearly all of the water's kinetic energy to be transferred to the wheel, and it made it one of the most efficient turbine designs of its time. This particular wheel is a 36-inch diameter, and was fed, and we saw this above, by a 22-inch diameter penstock. And that penstock ran about 1,700 feet up the hillside. And there's a lot of brush here, so it's hard to see some of the features, but super rare to see something that dates back to 1905. That's 120 years old, fully intact here in the wild. You just don't see that very often. You can also see its belting is still here for this big drive wheel here. So taking a look at it from the backside here, there was this little concrete vault sort of structure that was cast around it. It's just in really, really great condition and fully complete, so real treat to see. You often see these Pelton wheels missing their cups, and you just see the wheel portion left. But to see the whole complete package here is, I think, the takeaway from this site. You just don't see the complete packages with the generator, the dynamo, the Pelton wheel, the penstock, the belt still being here, which is really, really rare. Look over here, kind of covered in the brush here, is where the penstock and pipe would have terminated to the Pelton wheel. see this lever here. And then over here, another belt driven pulley for some other purpose here. And you can see here on the cups, it says patent, which we'll see what it says on the other side. And like most Pelton wheels, you have down in here, and you can not see it too well, unfortunately, but there's a gate down in there that would have helped flow the water, and that would have been controlled by the governor. And you can kind of see, right, if I can get down in here. It's really hard to see, but trust me, it's there. There's a look at some of these buckets. Kind of give you an idea of how big they are based on my hand here. We're marking here of M&G, looks like SF, probably San Francisco. And of course, this would have been in a building, a wooden structure that no longer exists today. So this powerhouse does date to around 1905, and I believe was used for a number of years thereafter, possibly up until the teens or 20s. And one thing I noticed looking around is there was a little bit of dimensional lumber still here, not much, just a few pieces that are rotted away, but still you can make out part of the structure. And there's some more dimensional lumber over here. Under this brush, and I'll try to point it out, it's a little hard to see, but you can see this belting, and you can see the different layers. So there was a lot of belting here, because that belting would have had to, you know, again, have gone from the wheel all the way over here, and I'm sure it wore out and needed to be changed, like belting still needs to be changed out to this day as it wears. And I believe this Westinghouse generator was 25 kilowatt system here. And also try to put a photo up of a Westinghouse dynamo generator as well. But you can also see there's all kinds of parts and pieces here. Yeah, it looks like it might even be lead lined. There's probably a lot of other stuff out here that's just buried. And I'm not an expert on generators, dynamos. There's people out there I've seen comment on our stuff that know way more about this than we do. We just try to share the history. We'll leave the technical expertise to subject matter experts and the hobbyists that know more than we do. But what's interesting is there's this slate piece right here, and it has some holes drilled in it. And I'm not exactly sure what the slate piece was for in the system. If you know, please comment. Westinghouse manufactured various types of electrical generators, including dynamos, in the early 1900s for a lot of diverse applications, including mining operations. And as I mentioned before, and you probably figured out, this was a belt-driven system. And Westinghouse and other early systems frequently used belt drives to connect mechanical power sources, such as steam engines or water turbines, to generators. And one thing coming in I noticed is there's all these shattered cups or buckets. Over time, the force of the water, the manufacturing method, cast iron, I believe this was cast iron, water pressure would just be too much and these would shatter occasionally and have to be replaced. So there's a lot of broken ones here that probably were replaced over the years. And just looking around to see if there's anything else I'm missing here. And again, this shows you where the penstock came down in, this big flanged, I'm guessing close to 22-inch diameter pipe here. Hard to see, there's a log that's fallen over it. Over here you had the belt that would have been on the flywheel at the Pelton wheel, and that belt would have been connected to the backside of this Westinghouse generator. As the wheel turned, it turned that flywheel, and the belt connection would have turned the flywheel on the generator, and thus creating power. And again, you can see the belting right here that's still here. So looking around over here, we found another piece of equipment associated with the Powerhouse, and this is a Woodward governor, which is a type of mechanical device that controls the speed of the Pelton wheel. And I will put a picture up to show you what this would have looked like. It is pretty buried, so it's going to be really hard to show you much, but you can see, I guess, the key piece here when I show the picture is this bowl-shaped area you see in front of me of the device. That's probably the most identifiable. And the other thing that's really cool here is that there is a identification plate still on it. I'll try to get the best shot I can here. And you can see it says Woodward Governor. It was a size D, number 1774, compensating type, and patented May 31, 1870, August 2nd, 1898, July 5th, 1890, and July 30th, 1901, Rockford, Illinois. And that's really cool that that's still here, because that gives us a lot of information on this that otherwise you normally would not see. So, but I will put the photo up to show you what this buried governor would have looked like if it was out of the ground and sitting upright. Well, that's going to about do it for this exploration adventure. We want to say thank you for coming along with us. We're glad to have you. Please consider subscribing to our channel. If you don't want to subscribe, that's okay. Just check back with us every now and again. Please like and comment, as it really does help our channel. And until our next adventure, take care.